Hello again. Welcome back to Art Mix. My name is Chad Campbell. I will be your teaching artist today, and this is our series on wire sculpture. Today we're going to be building this simple light bulb wall hanger. Today we will be using an 18 gauge coated thermostat wire to do this project. Now, a project such as this, we will be basically using the wire the way we would be using a pencil or marker or paints to make a line drawing. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We're not going to do a whole lot of measuring with this one. I'm going to go a little bit freehand. On some of these projects we'll do measuring, we'll need to have exact lengths, but today we're going to do it kind of like a sketch. So I'm going to start with this yellow. So I'm going to make the bulb part of this project. So I'm going to start by putting just a little loop in the one end. I'm going to make that a little bigger. We're going to put this into a double loop. You'll see that here in a moment. And then I'm going to start making the shape of my bulb. And this should be a pretty decent size. So I'm going to cut that off. Go ahead and put a loop in this end. Put my yellow wire aside. We won't need that again. And we're going to make the shape of a light bulb here. Alright. Not too horrible. Now remember, the wire that you use for this doesn't have to be this exact wire, but it has to be soft enough to bend, but rigid enough to keep its shape. So next we're going to go for the filament. It's just a wire with a simple sweep in it. So I'm going to start the same way. I'm going to start with a loop in the end of this one. And I'm going to kind of eyeball an approximate size. We can cut this off if we need, but I think that's going to do it. So, this up here, I'm going to put my sweep right here. Just twist that around. We're just making a simple one like an old Edison light bulb. Nothing too fancy here. We want this to be nice and simple so you can practice. Alright. And it looks like we cut it off about here. Put a little bend in the end of that wire. Give it a little more shape here. I like to give it almost a heart shape. Alright. You know what? That's a little bit on the long side. So we're going to have to trim that off. No big deal. Any little mistakes can be easily remedied. Alright. We're looking pretty good. There we go. So we have the bulb. Now we need a socket. So we're going to do that with this black wire. I'm going to trim the end since there's a little bit of copper showing there. And we're going to start with this switch here. So we're going to start with a a circle. And remember, this is kind of a sketch, so it doesn't have to look super real. Alright, and then I'm going to grab that circle and twist it out. I'm just going to flatten it here. So see how we have that loop in the end there? And now I'm just going to twist this. See, I twisted that over. And that kind of makes the end of that little twist switch there. Now, we're going to put a 90... Ooh! So we have our little... Alright, see how I have that loop in the end to give kind of the end of the switch there. Now we're going to put a 90-degree bend here. Our switch will be about yay long. And we're going to put a 90-degree bend in that. Now we're going to make a square or a rectangle. I'm going to cut this off. So this is a pretty big roll. So I cut some off. We may have to trim this, but that'll give us enough to work with without too much extra. So I'm going to go to corner and I'm going to bend a little loop right in the corner of this thing. See how I did that? So this bulb is going to attach to one of these, or to actually to two of these. See how I did that? So the bulb part of this will attach to two of these loops. We will need one at each corner. I'm just going to keep going around. Let's see, about right here will be good. When I'm working with sheathed wire, I like to do as much as I can with my fingers. My fingers aren't going to tear up that sheathing as much as the pliers will if I make a mistake. Alright, so now this one, so this last one, I'm going to need to be pretty level with this one back here. I'm eyeballing it. Oh, we need it pretty close. Alright. I'm going to straighten this out a bit. I'm going to go ahead and move that switch a little toward the middle. See how that's kind of off center? It's going to be a little bit shorter. I'm going to flatten this out with the flat part of the pliers. Make sure not to grab it too much with this rough part of the pliers. And in the middle here, I'm going to bend that right out. It didn't move too far, but that's okay. We need that to be out to the side at a 90-degree angle here. And now, I like to put just a little bit of a twist in this part here. I like to twist it back and then bring that forward. See if I can catch that there. See how that has a little bit of a crook in it. And that will accept the loop that we used to close this off. I'm going to cut that off. Put a loop in here. Oop. And then I'm going to pinch this closed. Alright. So we have our socket. Now you can expand on these ideas also. You can make the type of socket that has a chain hanging down from it that you would pull. That's up to you. Play around and add your own ideas to these sculptures. Alright, we're going to lay this aside and we're going to grab our green wire. So I'm going to make this top piece here, kind of the end of the socket where it hangs from a chain. So I'm going to start it just like the others. Let's put this over here. Got that there. We're going to start with a loop in one end. I'll give it a look here and put a loop in the middle of this guy here. Cut this off. Okay, so now I have this piece here. I'm going to put a loop in this side. These actually need to be pointed back. And now we just need to kind of roll this and make sure that our circle, our loop, is in the center of this. Let's see how we're doing there. Bend these down at a 90-degree angle. I'm gonna put that there. And line these up. Make sure these are gonna fit. I think we're looking pretty good. So let's start with this green. Put these little loops into those circles. See, they'll have to be big enough to go around this little double loop here. And pinch that. And pinch it on this side. So now you have that top piece attached. Now I'm going to grab the filament and put it right in the middle here. That's just going to hang right from the bottom of your socket. Pinch that on. Alright. Now we have our filament. Alright. Now we're going to grab our bulb. The loops on the ends of the bulb wire will go right through these loops here. Alright. Those pinched tight. Alright. There we go so far. Got a little, this socket is a little big on this one, so I may have wanted to go just a little bit bigger with the bulb, but that's alright. We're practicing here. Alright, so now we are going to start making the chain which holds the bulb. So for this we will use our orange wire. And these colors aren't super important. You don't have to use the yellow, the blue, the black. You can use all copper, you could use all steel, you could use different colors. It's all up to you. So for this chain, we're just going to make simple S-hooks. I'll usually start by closing off one end. Then I bend the other and cut off this open loop. So we have something that looks like that. And then we'll be able to close this loop onto the next link in the chain. So let's put that down. Do one more kind of slow for you here. See what we have there. Now we're going to cut it off. We have another loop. The one side's a little big on that one. I'm going to trim it off a little. Alright. There we go. So we'll make 6 of these links all together. So I'm going to do these final 4 pretty quick. We have 6 links there now. And then we're going to make a final link. We'll make a loop at the top that you can hang from a nail or whatever on your wall. And for that we're going to use this blue wire. Oh, for that we're going to use this blue wire here. I'm going to start with a loop in the end of this. I'm going to make this circle with my fingers. Be a lot much smoother that way. I'm just going to overlap that loop and then pinch it. This doesn't have a lot of weight to it, but this ring is going to hold the weight of all of it. And now I'm going to cut this off and bend a loop, an open loop, in the end of this wire. Alright, so now we're going to start at the bulb. We're going to close one of these S-hooks right around the green piece of our light bulb. Grab the next one. And then the final step is to pinch the loop to the top. Make sure we got it hanging the right way. And there we go. A simple light bulb wall hanger. Thank you very much for joining me again. I hope to see you on our next video.
Hi, my name is Britt Sutton and I'm the President and CEO of ArtMix. First, we want to thank you for joining us today for our online curriculum. ArtMix is an organization that transforms the lives of individuals with disabilities through the creation of art. Today you participated in one of our community classes. Usually these classes are in our studios and for a small fee. We sincerely hope that you'll consider making a donation to our program after watching today's classes. Please visit artmixindiana.org for more information, and we thank you for joining us.